You would be surprised to hear from her own words, "By every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew." This woman was the most disorganized, worst secretary, with a failed marriage, depressed, rejected by 12 publishers, her mailbox was filled with rejection letters, etc. But she didn't give up. She had already decided to kick the failure out of her way and to embrace victory. She is none other than Joanne Kathleen Rowling, or, as you might know her, J.K. Rowling. As you know, behind every great success, there are many bitter failures. Failures are very common for many people. They see them as hurdles on their way, but very few of them turn those failures into their opportunities and become the most outstanding people. J.K. Rowling is one of such people. Every time the failure pulled her down, she fought back and marched toward victory. But it was not so easy, especially for a woman. Her story starts on July 31st, 1965, when she was born to the couple Peter James Rowling and Anne Valant. Neither received a college education. Her life was rags to riches. She was growing up in Gloucester, England. Writing became her passion from her childhood. She fascinated her younger sister, Diane, by telling many self-made stories. She started writing when she was very small. At the age of 5 or 6, she wrote her first story about a rabbit. In that story, the rabbit was called Rabbit. Another character in her early story was Miss B. She rarely told anyone that she wanted to be a writer. She spent most of her childhood near Forest of Dean since she was 9. As you know, this place has played a vital role in her Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. When she decided to be a novel writer, her parents did not appreciate her idea. As they were from a very poor background, they worried about her secured life-supporting income. Creating a book series is not so easy. It involves many processes. Her teenage years were filled with great difficulty. Her mother died on New Year's Day when she was 25 years old. Her mom never saw Rowling as a successful writer. After graduating, she got a job doing translation at the research desk for Amnesty International. Life was not going so easy for her. She decided to move to Porto in Portugal to be an English teacher. There, she married television journalist Jorge Arantes. The couple was blessed with a baby girl named Jessica. To add to her pain, the couple had separated and the whole burden of raising Jessica fell on Rowling's shoulders. Then she went into depression, for which she had to be treated. She had to feed 2 mouths with meager unemployment benefits. But all these things could not stop her from becoming a successful writer. Rowling came up with the idea for Harry Potter on a delayed train. Over the next 5 years, she outlined 7 books in the series. She started her book writing whenever she got time. She wrote her books in cafes while her daughter was asleep. When she came back to Britain, her suitcase was filled with the Harry Potter stories. Rowling has attended therapy sessions to treat her depression. It was entirely conscious, Rowling told The Times, and entirely from my own experience. Depression is the most unpleasant thing I've ever experienced. During this period, Rowling lived off government welfare. She frequently criticized the politicians who attempted to cut back on government welfare programs. When she sent the first 3 chapters of her series, it was rejected by the publishers. Not by one publisher. It was rejected by almost 12 publishers. She lost all her hope. Every time she opened the mailbox, she was greeted with another rejection letter. Failure meant a stripping away of the inessential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was, and began to direct all my energy into finishing the only work that mattered to me, she said. Finally, yes, after many rejections, luck started to knock at her door. Her manuscript reached the hands of the editor at Bloomsbury Publishing Company. He read the manuscript along with his 8-year-old daughter. The little angel loved the story and persuaded her dad to read the whole story, which made the publisher agree to publish Rowling's novel. The myth, children's books won't fetch much money, was broken by Rowling when Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was published. After a while, she made her second deal with Bloomsbury to print 500 copies of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This secured her a €2,500 advance. Philosopher's Stone appeared in print in 1997. Rowling's first 3 Harry Potter books, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Prisoner of Azkaban, all made Rowling even more popular. Her book series has been translated into 73 languages, sold millions of copies, and accrued over $20 billion through movie adaptations and sponsorships. At the beginning of 1999 alone, 300,000 copies were sold in the UK. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone won many awards. This is the time she bought an apartment for herself. Her books and movies started earning a huge amount. She was the first female billionaire author. Meanwhile, she married Neil Murray, a Scottish doctor. In 2003, Rowling gave birth to her son, Gordon Rowling Murray. Her longest book, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, was released in the same year. Rowling was the first billionaire woman book writer, reported Forbes in 2004. Later, she dropped off the list because she gave so much money to charity. Yes, she knows what poverty is like. All her bitter experiences of being in poverty made her be a humanitarian and pushed her toward charity. She founded the charity project Rowling Regenerative Neurology Clinic at the University of Edinburgh with a gift of $16 million. Later, she became the president of Gingerbread. It's a 100-year-old organization that supports single parents and their children. The full profits of Quidditch Through the Ages went to charity. The sales of Tales of Beetle the Bard went to the organization, which tries to end the institutionalization of children. Rowling has founded and supported dozens of charities. In her political views, being a leftist political supporter, she donated €1 million to Britain's Labour Party in 2008. She also campaigned against Brexit in 2016. All 7 of her books, in total, have sold more than 450 million copies and have been translated into 67 languages. Her 8th and last Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2, broke the record for the biggest opening weekend of all time. It's the end of a major chapter for Harry Potter and for millions of fans. In her journey of writing, she's written many short stories, novels, etc. They have fetched her many awards. When she became more famous, she started to give more toward charity works. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default, says J.K. Her story reminds us of something. Failure gives you strength. With that strength and perseverance, achieve your goal. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.